So, real quick, I want you guys to imagine jumping into a volcano. Um, just try to visualize yourself jumping into a volcano and imagine what you would be feeling like in that moment right before you jump. Imagine what type of thoughts you would have. Imagine what type of emotions you would have. And really try to visualize yourself in this scenario where you're literally about to jump into a volcano. If you do this exercise right, then you would know that you would feel like some type of extreme resistance right before you jump into a volcano, like the same resistance that you have before you jump into water when you're like on a cliff or even on a higher diving board. uh, you get this like resistance anxiety that your brain tries. It's like an adrenaline type of deal where it's like a flight or flight where your brain tries its absolute best to convince you to not to do the thing you're about to do. So it's like, imagine if you're about to put your hand in some fire, and right before you do it, your brain's like, don't do this, don't do this, and your brain just trying its absolute best to tell you not to do this thing. This is called resistance anxiety. Resistant anxiety keeps a lot of people lazy, and it keeps a lot of people unfulfilled, and it stops a lot of people from doing the things that they actually need to do in their life. So learning to overcome this emotional resistance is an important skill to have. I wanted to make a video talking about this and trying to teach you guys how to learn how to overcome emotional resistance, so you guys can force yourself to do things that you don't like making money, or cleaning your room, or doing chores, or even going and running errands. Cause sometimes you can get like a resistance anxiety just from going to the grocery store. Uh, so learning to overcome this resistance anxiety can be quite hard, uh, especially uh, especially if you're a procrastinator. If you're somebody that procrastinates a lot, then you struggle a lot with resistance anxiety, uh, because the biggest reason for procrastination is that the resistance anxiety is so painful that you try to escape it. uh, so you procrastinate, quote unquote, but you're actually escaping that resistance anxiety, um, to go do whatever you're trying to distract yourself with. So let's say you get in a resistance anxiety to go do the dishes, right? So you like, okay, I should do the dishes, and then you get like an anxiety. Oh, it's just too many dishes. It's too dirty. It's gonna take me too long. I don't have enough energy, right? And then your brain will be like, oh, you can go play video games instead, right? So you have this resistance anxiety, right? And it's very uncomfortable when you're thinking about doing something and you get like an anxiety or like a resistance. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, like the body feeling, and it's uncomfortable in your mind. And there's only two ways to get rid of this uncomfortable feeling. You either take action and do the thing that you wanted to do originally, or you distract yourself or procrastinate. And that's what a lot of people do. And procrastination is a habit. It's not And procrastination is a habit. You do it every time you feel this resistance anxiety, and you procrastinate to escape this resistance anxiety. So procrastination is a form of escapism. So how do you overcome this resistant anxiety? You would need to be able to recognize when you have the resistance anxiety and be able to not react to it, because as soon as you react to it, most of the time you end up procrastinating, because when you react to the resistant anxiety, it's trying its best to keep you resisted and keep you not doing that thing that you're trying to do. So it's going to try to convince you. So if you react to this resistance, it's going to keep you away from doing that thing. So the best way to overcome resistance anxiety is not react to it. And that sounds so simple, to just take action, but it's really the only way, and it's the best way to overcome this. So instead of getting in the habit of procrastinating, you have to get in the habit of taking action. So every time you get into this feeling of a resistant anxiety, instead of reacting to it and engaging with it, and then trying to escape that feeling by procrastinating, try your best to ignore it and not react to it, and just do what you originally said you were going to do. Because if you said you were going to do it, why are you arguing with yourself? It doesn't really make sense. You're just making yourself suffer if you're arguing with yourself. So you really just need to kind of like snap out of it and just be like, oh, that's irrational thinking. Why am I thinking like that? That's a little stupid. And you just need to snap yourself out of it, and then you can take action. And you will be able to, and then you need to do this. You need to do this constantly. Like every time that you get in a resistance anxiety, try your best not to react to it, because if you every time you react to it, you get in the habit of reacting to it, and then every time you feel it, you react to it and you procrastinate, and then you get stuck in that cycle. So every time you get resistance anxiety, whether it's from exercise, whether it's from running errands, whether it's from cleaning, or making money, or going to your job. Like some people get resistance anxiety just going to work. Every time you get it, don't react to it, and then take action. That's the best way, and I know it's just so cliche to just say take action and don't procrastinate, but it's really the only way to do this. It's really the only way to overcome this resistance anxiety, because engaging with the resistance is going to keep you engaging with the resistance is just going to make you procrastinate, and it's going to keep you lazy, and then you won't be as productive as you can be. So yeah, that's how you overcome emotional resistance, and that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next one.